Anderson now joining us from the United States. Thanks a lot for being with us. You've been seeing this fairly substantial debate that has been taking place through the day on what exactly the Pakistanis knew, and we're going to continue over the next 1 hour to bring up people the cables which are pointing very clearly in certain directions. What's your own sense, Mr. Anderson, of what the Pakistani authorities have known all this time? Do you think they knew Osama was there, and do you think they just hid that fact from the United States and the rest of the world?
I was interested to hear the discussion so far. Of course, the official public line is that we know nothing, we see nothing, he's elsewhere, he's dead, he's in Iran, somewhere else. The U.S. government, as another speaker noted, really took all of that quite skeptically because there's actually quite a lot of information. And you can see that with Hillary Clinton's visit to Pakistan a few months ago, Admiral Mullen's visit just a few weeks ago, in which they got rather remarkably blunt in saying, we know something is happening and you've got to do something about it. You have two situations here. You know, if the public explanation is right, then the Pakistan government is enormously incompetent, and ISI is enormously incompetent. If for 6 years they didn't know that something was going on there, particularly, it's not only that it's relatively close to Islamabad, it's only about 100 meters from a military training area. So. Or the other one is they knew something, and I think it's almost certain they knew something. Now the question is, because of the complexity of the government in Pakistan, what part of the government knew? It could well be that the civilian part, led by President Zardari, knows very little. We know that on the nuclear program and other security issues, the military and ISI have not kept the government fully informed, and sometimes not informed at all. And on this sort of situation, I suspect they were not informing them at all. And the question is then, is it a rogue part of the ISI? I doubt it. The ISI is really a part of the military. The various heads of the departments are on rotation from the military. So this could not be something that was done by a rogue element. So there had to be an element of knowledge in that. 6 years is a long time in Abbottabad for this kind of thing to go on undetected. Now, what will happen when, now that this has happened? Obviously the U.S. is going to put pressure on Pakistan. Now, ironically, Al-Qaeda as an organization was one of diminishing importance. Take the Middle East, where the various movements that have sprung up have not had his picture or references to Al-Qaeda. And even in Pakistan, the Al-Qaeda was a diminishing in Afghanistan. The danger is the Taliban, because the Al-Qaeda in something has become a franchise organization, and some of the franchises are dangerous. And especially dangerous is the Afghan Taliban, and there, most everybody I know has suspicions that the government of Pakistan is assisting.
Right.
One other element that came in, the reference to the actual attack itself, is to what extent the Pakistanis knew about it. My guess is they knew nothing. The helicopters came in, did their thing, got out, because it's clear now that the U.S. was concerned about the Pakistani Air Force detecting it, and apparently they did at the very end, and the helicopters had to scurry across the border as quickly as possible.
And in fact, it's very interesting, the statement, Mr. Anderson, the statement that the Pakistanis have issued a short while back is actually quite an interesting statement. They are saying, again, as you're saying, we knew nothing about it. In fact, we scrambled jets to try and intercept whoever there was. And they also pretty much ticked off the United States and says, we don't like what you did. You came in here, don't do it again. How do you think that particular statement is going to be seen in America and other parts of the world? And what do you think really lies behind?
When President Obama was running for office, he argued that if there is actionable intelligence regarding top layers of Al-Qaeda, we will act in Pakistan. They knew that. We have done so. This is not done frequently. It's done when you have only the most important targets. And it would happen again if there were another significant target, in which nothing was done to contain, arrest, or eliminate the leadership of Al-Qaeda. The irony of all of this is Al-Qaeda has cooperated with some of the anti-Pakistani groups inside Pakistan, like the Pakistan Taliban and Lashkar Jungvi and others.
So final question, do you see the U.S.-Pakistan relationship falling apart now or no?
I don't think so. I think, there's going to be pressure to change the way they do business. Now, it possibly could be a problem, but the U.S., let's be frank, is in a dilemma. Pakistan has the advantage of geography. To supply the troops, you really need to use the port of Karachi and transportation up to the border. That's one. And second, you have the long border. So we've got to be as innovative as possible, using carrots and sticks, and I can assure you that both have been employed many times out of public view to do that. But this situation really it provides an opportunity, and let's see what happens. If the other side doesn't take use of the opportunity, my guess is there's incremental steps to put pressure on Pakistan.
All right, Mr. Anderson, thank you so much for joining us with that perspective.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.